Good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get fired up here. Let's see who we've got on here today. Go ahead and say hello if you haven't already. Let us know where you're calling in from. We've got Catherine from Pennsylvania. We've got Liz from up in the Yukon Territory, Canada. Welcome, Liz. We've got Jean. We've got another gal from Canada, Betty. Thanks for coming. Let's see what else we got here. Teresa from Portland. Welcome, Teresa. We got Peggy close by here, Anchorage. She's just north of us a little bit. Noreen from Glendive, Montana. Welcome, Noreen. Christine from Florida. We've got Texas, Arizona, Montana, California. We got folks from all over the place. Welcome, everyone. New York, Washington, Maryland. All right, Michigan, Minot, North Dakota, Illinois. Welcome, 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 everyone. Thanks for joining me today. We have a great program in store for you today. We're going to have a lot of fun. Just a quick little bit of housekeeping before we get going. I think most of you have figured out how to use the chat there. So if you haven't, the chat's on the right-hand side. There's a box right at the bottom. Just type in your message and hit enter, and it will jump into the chat. And if you have a specific question that you want me to address, right on the left side of that chat box where you enter your message, there's a little bubble. If you click on that, you can select between a chat or a question. Mark it as a question if it's a question that you want me to address. That'll help me to spot it quickly in the chat. Sometimes it's hard to see all the questions. So if you click on that bubble, mark it as a question, enter your message and enter it, it'll show up with a little question mark so I can see it and address that question. Let's see, a couple other things. We're going to be doing a hands-on demonstration here in a little bit. So let me tell you what you might need to have handy to do that. You can go ahead and grab that now while we're getting going. If you have a pair of scissors that you can cut paper with, preferably with a nice little sharp tip, you can grab those, and either a marker or a crayon, in a worst case scenario, a pencil, just something you can scribble with, and a few pieces of clean white paper. I'm going to be giving you a template to download. In fact, let me fire that up here. So you can go ahead, if you have a printer available, you can print this off and do the hands-on demonstration with us. If not, just you can follow along and watch. You'll learn a lot either way, but it's always fun if you can do a hands-on and actually do it. So let me see if I can find that template for you here. Okay. I'm loading that up here. Okay, you should see a little pop-up on the right-hand side there that says demonstration worksheet, and the button that says open and download. Go ahead and click on that button. That'll pop open that template, and you can print that out. We're going to need that here in a little while when we do our demonstration. So if you have a printer, go ahead and print that out, and we will be using that shortly. All right. Let me grab my notes here real quick. I guess I should have checked, make sure everybody can hear and see me okay. If you can hear me and you can see me, please say yes, or I can see you, or something like that in the chat. There's a little bit of a delay here. Make sure everybody can see me okay. So I'm waiting for those yeses to come in. All right, here they come. Good, good. Thank you, Teresa. All right, now they're piling in. A little bit of a delay in the system, which is normal. And loud and clear, awesome. Perfect, perfect. I love it when everything works. So many times the tech gremlins attack you right at the last minute. So it's nice when everything actually works. So let's see. I'm gonna this webinar is going to be a combination of this face to camera where I'm talking to you guys, and I'll also have a presentation screen that will be popping back and forth in between. So just so you know what to expect, we'll be popping back and forth between things. If Doreen is having trouble hearing, check the volume on your computer. If you can't hear anything and the volume's turned up, probably the best thing to do is to refresh the page, get back into this. Hopefully that'll clear your issues. So, okay, great. Most everybody is seeing and hearing me fine. So, great. Yeah. Thanks, Doreen. I'm glad that worked for you. Beautiful. All right. So I'm going to switch over to my presentation screen here. It'll, like I said, it'll be a slight delay here, as there always is when we switch things. So let me know when you can see that welcome screen with the picture of my wife and I. And we just want to make sure everybody's seeing that okay. All right, we got some more yeses coming in. Good. All right. So let's fire this off here. Let's start out by doing a quick poll, just so we see who we have on here today. I know most of you have been going through the workshop videos with us, and I hope you've been enjoying that. I just want to see where you are in that process. If you have, I want to know if you have tried out any of the workshop patterns. So a little poll should have popped up on the right-hand side asking you how many of you have tried the workshop patterns. And pick an answer there, whichever best matches with your situation. Yes, I cut one or more out. Yes, I finished my quilt top. Yes, I finished my entire quilt. Or no, I didn't get to try it yet. Go ahead and click one of those answers. We're going to give you a couple seconds here to get your answer in. And then we're going to see where everybody's at. Okay. I'm going to give you just a couple seconds, and I'm going to end the poll. And here we go. Okay. So we have 14% of you said, yes, I cut one or more out. 0% have finished their quilt top. 0% have finished their quilt. And majority of you, 86%, haven't got to try it yet. And that's fine. Okay. Perfect. Oh, we got Terry on here in the chat saying she finished 2 tops. Awesome. Congratulations, Terry. I love it when folks really take action and get after this. That's awesome. Okay. Get my screen going here. Okay, so what you're going to learn today, my goal for you guys is for you to leave this webinar with the unfailing belief that you have everything that it takes to make these quilts. Now, if you've been watching the workshop videos, you should be getting the understanding of how easy this process really is. And it doesn't take a huge amount of experience. In fact, we've had brand new quilters, even people who weren't quilters before they attended one of our workshops, have left making their first quilt. And so it's absolutely doable. So that's my promise to you. I want to give you as much value as I possibly can in this short webinar training today. And like I said, after a little bit here, we are going to be doing a hands-on demonstration. That's going to be a lot of fun, and that'll really bring home what we're talking about to you. I believe it's just that demonstration, the ability to put your hands on it and actually do this and see how easy it is going to be an eye-opener for you. So, so let me know if the idea of making beautiful quilts excites you. I know it does, because otherwise you wouldn't be here. But let me hear what you have to say in the chat. If you love making beautiful quilts and you're excited about the idea of making something new, something more beautiful than maybe you even ever imagined you could do, give me a yes, give me a number one, give me a heck yeah in the chat. We've got some yes, yes, yeses. All right. Awesome. Joyce, if you're having trouble with the presentation, just refresh it. A lot of times that will fix that for you. We're getting lots of yeses coming in. Thanks, guys. All right, perfect. Perfect. So we're going to start out here. I want to give you a little bit of background about how this all came into being. I think that's going to help you a lot. I want you to know where we're coming from. And then we're going to jump into that demonstration. And then we're going to, with your permission, we're going to show you the Art Quilts Made Easy system, show you what else that you haven't seen. There's so much. This is super exciting, what this system can do for you and your quilting. So we are going to fire into that here and see what we can learn today. All right. Okay, yes, I want to remind you of that too. We have a free bonus for everyone today. Actually, this will be the second free bonus if you've already had the opportunity to download that template. That's one of our valuable templates. So that's yours free just for being on here today. But we have another free bonus for you guys. Everyone who's on here and sticks with us to the end, we are going to give you free lifetime access to those workshop videos so that you can go back anytime you want and brush up on anything that you have questions about. We put that in a special bonus member area for you guys, and I'm going to give you the link to that and the login details right at the end of this webinar. So make sure you hang with us till the end, and we want to make sure to get that bonus to you. So a little bit about Mary and I. The humble truth is we never planned to be in the quilt pattern business. You know, I don't know if you guys have heard Mary's story, how these patterns all came about. It all started with a mother's desire to share her passion with her daughter. Our oldest daughter, Melissa, Mary always wanted her to join with her in quilting, you know, and share that passion that she has for the whole quilting craft. But Melissa never seemed to be all that interested, you know, and she, you know, Mary didn't want to push it on her. She didn't want to force her to try to do something, because that's no way to get someone involved in something like that. You know, they have to want it. They have to desire it. And so, you know, all through the years, as Melissa was growing up, Mary would always try to involve her in her quilting, which would show her what she was doing, would kind of share what she was doing, and just try to let that naturally come about. But it just it never seemed to happen. Melissa had some artistic inclinations. She loved to draw and to paint. She got into airbrushing a little bit, and but quilting just never really sparked her imagination. So it was always something on Mary's heart that she really wanted to share this with her, and so it was, you know, Melissa grew up and left home, got married, started having kids of her own, and all of a sudden one day Mary is showing her latest art quilt that she's working on, and Melissa kind of stops her in her tracks when she says, "Mom, you never do anything that we can do." And that really struck home with Mary. In one regard, she was super excited because this was the first inclination that Melissa had um, any kind of interest in quilting at all. And on the other hand, it grieved her because she had wanted this for so long, and she felt like she had somehow um, failed to present quilting in such a way that it would be interesting to her. But here it was. Here was the opportunity, and Mary wasn't going to let it pass her by. So she sequestered herself in her studio and went to work, trying to figure out a way to make this possible for her daughter to make something beautiful with her, because she knew with Melissa's artistic inclinations that she couldn't just present her with something cheesy and something that was too simple that would turn her off. She wanted it to be attractive. She wanted it to be a little bit of a challenge, and she wanted it to be something that would speak to her artistic um, taste. So that whole process, that was how the continuum pattern was born. When Mary came out of that studio, she had the first patterns that were ever in existence. These continuum patterns never existed before that point. And what she had was absolutely amazing. Not only was Melissa able to make her first quilt, um, we got our daughter-in-law involved also, and neither of them had ever quilted before. In fact, I don't know if they'd ever even sewn anything before, but they were both able to sit down with a little bit of instruction, make a beautiful continuum art quilt. And soon enough, word began getting out, and it wasn't long before quilters were coming to Mary and begging her to make these patterns available to everyone. And like I said, we had never had this burning desire to be in a quilt pattern business. It just kind of started happening because so many people were asking. Um, I told Mary, I said, if this is something you want to do, I'd be happy to help you. I'll build you a website. I'll do some of the marketing for you, and we can start getting some of these patterns out into the market. And it didn't take long before they just started taking off. Stores were asking us if they could carry our patterns. People were coming to our website from all over the world. It's crazy. And before long, this thing is just taking off. And here, fast forward 10 years later, here we are. We've now there's over 100 patterns in our pattern line. We have patterns in stores all over the place. Quilters from all over the world have purchased and used our patterns. We've taught thousands and thousands of quilters how to make these continuum quilts. And so, I wanted to share some of that background story with you guys so you understand where we come from and how this all came to be. And myself, I never had no desire to be in the quilting business. I was a heavy equipment operator, and I had plenty of things on my plate as it was. But I started out doing this for Mary, in the process, I fell in love with the people. Quilters are such amazing people, and then here I am, full time working with Mary, teaching and quilting right alongside her. So these kind of things just happen sometimes. So have you ever heard the expression "work smarter, not harder"? Well, in our case, it's quilt smarter, not harder. In working with all of those quilters, we have seen the struggles that they go through. We've seen those hurdles that hold them back from moving forward into quilting. And like I said, we've worked with everyone right from raw beginners all the way up through advanced quilters, and everyone has their own hurdles and struggles that they faced. And with the invention of the continuum pattern, that that pattern solved part of the problem. It solved that art equation, for people who didn't have that artistic ability and weren't able to, draw their own patterns or even figure out how to start composing what could be considered art. Um, Now all of a sudden that process was solved. They could take these patterns, and if they could use a pair of scissors, if they could follow some simple instructions, they could make a beautiful artistic quilt. But as we all know, there's more to quilting than just the art. So, we began to understand that there was a need for more of a complete system to help quilters go from ground zero to making a beautiful art quilt. And so we began working on designing and creating something that could help any quilter, whether they were a beginner, whether they were intermediate, whether they were advanced, to be able to put this whole thing together and construct quilts that were more beautiful than they ever imagined they can do. And I want to let's take another poll here, and because I want to prove this not only to myself but to you. Um, it helps sometimes to see the visual um, understanding of where we're at. And so let's kind of get a cross section of who we're dealing with right here on the webinar today. We're going to do two quick little polls here. The first one we're going to ask you is, are you an artist? Try to get this up here for you. Okay, you should see that pop up on the right hand side of your screen. Are you an artist? And the answers are, I was born with a natural artistic ability, I've had formal art training, or I can't draw to save my life. So whichever one of those most applies to you, go ahead and put in your answers. Let's see what we've got going here today. It's always fun to see these results. All right, looks like most of you have put in your answers. So let's see here. We have 29% of you are saying you were born with some natural artistic ability. That's totally awesome. 8% of you have had formal art training. All right. There's usually a very low percentage of folks who have actually had any type of artistic training. So that's awesome. And then the majority of people, 63%, are saying fall into that category of I'm not an artist. I can't draw to save my life. And that's perfectly fine. There's a lot of us that are right there in that situation. So let's do another quick poll here. And let's see what your experience level is. And you should see that coming up. What is your quilting experience level? I'm fairly new to quilting. I've been quilting for a number of years now, or I've been quilting forever, and I'm fairly advanced. Which one of those most best describes you? Okay, looks like most of the answers are in. Give you a couple seconds here. And end the poll. Here we go. 23%. I'm fairly new to quilting. That's great. We love to see new quilters coming into the industry because that's what keeps this thing going. Um, there always needs to be fresh people coming in, and that's what I love about quilters is quilters are so awesome about sharing their craft with others and bringing new people into the industry. So that's a great thing. 55% of you are saying you have been quilting for a number of years now, so you probably fall into that intermediate category there somewhere. And 21% have been quilting forever, it seems like, and you're fairly advanced. So that's great. Great. All right. I love seeing who we've got on here, and who we are talking to. That's perfect. All right. So all right, let's move along here. Get back on my presentation screen so I can move it forward. There we go. So, like any good art deserves to be framed. And, I don't think there's any of us here who, if you go out, whether you're going to yard sales or flea markets or the local stores, and you buy a piece of art, what's the first thing you do when you get it home? You start looking for a way to frame that so you can display it on your wall. Nobody just takes a raw picture and slaps it on the wall. It deserves to be framed. And so we spend time looking for that perfect frame to put around our art that will complement it, that will enhance the beauty of it, that will really set it off. Because we want folks to walk into our house and see that and go, wow, that's awesome. I love that picture. And as quilters, that framing process, we call that a border. We put borders around our quilts because that brings everything together. That puts everything into perspective. And when you're dealing with a quilt that has art in it, it's especially important that that border complements it and makes your art stand out even more, makes your quilt pop, makes your quilt scream for attention, makes your quilt draw people into it. Good art has a story to it, and the most compelling thing about art quilts for me is that story aspect where people are drawn into a story that's taking place, and you can, as you watch people look at your quilts, you can almost see that process taking place. You can see them being drawn into your art and experiencing something, probably something different than anyone else experiences. That's what art does to people, and that's so much fun. And as we've just discovered on our polls, even just here on this small cross section of quilters that we have on this webinar today, we have a wide range of quilters, everyone from just getting started to having quilted for a long, long time. So when we set about working on creating this system, we needed to address both ends of that spectrum. It had to appeal and be helpful to someone who was a raw beginner, and it had to appeal and be helpful to someone who was more advanced. And so we really went to the drawing board on that and started creating what we felt would be most helpful to a wide range of quilters, would help them to bring all these aspects of that are so important to an art quilt together into one concise, easy to use system that would help them to make the most beautiful art quilts they ever dreamed they could. And so, is this starting to resonate with you? Is this, if you're getting this, I want you to say yes in the chat so we understand. So I know you're with me. I know you're hearing me. I know you're feeling me, and I know that you're ready to get more of this art into your quilting. Let me see some yeses in the chat. Here they come. Awesome. Yes, 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 yes. They're piling in now. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Glad to hear you're tracking with me. Perfect. As a quilter, there's nothing worse than wanting to do something, seeing a quilt or seeing a pattern and saying, "Oh man, that's awesome. I want to do that." And then to find out that you don't have what it takes to make that, that's kind of crushes your spirit a little bit. It makes you feel like you're not good enough. It makes you feel all these yucky things. It can even make you feel stupid. And we don't want that for anyone. Um, and so that's why we worked and worked to make this doable for anyone, regardless of your ability. And so, at this part, I want to move on into that demonstration because that is, I think, is going to be so helpful to you guys to see exactly what we're talking about. Screen back to the camera. You should see me coming up here in just a second. Let me grab a drink of water here so I don't run out of voice. Thank you. All right, so I hope everyone's had a chance to, if you have a printer that you can download, that you've been able to download that pattern or that template that I gave you right at the beginning of the webinar. And if you've come on late, let me pull that up again for you. In fact, you might be able to see it on the right already. I'm going to remove it and then I'm going to pull it up again. Maybe that'll pop up for everyone here. Okay, so you should see that demonstration worksheet pop up on the right. There's a button there where you can click on that to download it. If you're just joining us and you haven't already done this, go ahead and print that out. Take a couple seconds here. You're also going to need a pair of scissors that you can cut paper with, preferably with a nice sharp tip. Maybe a crayon or a magic marker or a pencil if you don't have either of those. And we're going to do a little live demonstration here just to bring home to you guys how easy this process really is. When we created the Art Quilts Made Easy system and we started thinking about borders, borders like the one on this quilt behind me here with these bear paws that would really set your quilt off. We created 3 different styles of templates that our quilters can use. One of them is a piece block template, and I think most of you are familiar with that. Just the process of sewing together a bunch of pieces to make a block, which then gets sewn together into your quilt. That's just quilting 101. So we have, if you've watched I think it's video number 4 in our workshop series, you've seen some samples of how we went about that process. We made it even simpler because one of the problems quilters have that's pretty general across the board is the issue of getting your points to line up, not chopping off your points, and so everything gets sewn together properly. Well, we addressed that with our version of the pieced block templates, and made it super simple to guarantee you get that perfect 1/4 inch seam allowance. And if you've seen our video, you've gotten a good taste of how that works. The second technique we used is the foundation block border technique. Foundation piecing is super fun. I had never done it before we created this, and I found it to be amazingly simple. And I was able right away to start making beautiful blocks that the points all lined up perfectly. And it was just a lot of fun in the process. So if you've never done foundation piecing, that's a super fun way. And then we wanted to create this third way, which we are calling our no-sew border technique. And that's what you're seeing here with these bear paw patterns here. That was made using the no-sew border technique. And we wanted this to be so simple so any quilter, even someone who's just getting started, could make these beautiful, amazing borders that look like someone majorly experienced actually did it, and we wanted to do it in such a way that it was amazingly creative, so that your creativity could come out in your quilts. And so that's what we're going to focus on today with this demonstration. I want to show you how that process works. And so let me dig out my templates here. All right. So if you've downloaded the worksheet, you should have 2 sheets. I've already got mine scribbled on and cut out a little bit. I'm going to show you what you need to do here. We've got the top layer, which is our big star. We've got a mid layer, which is our smaller star. And then you should have a third piece of just plain white paper that's going to serve as your background. So when we're talking about the no-sew border technique, we are talking about a layered system. As you can see, this border behind me here, the green fabric is our top layer, and the yellow fabric is our background fabric. That's our bottom layer. This is just a 2-layer border. The one we're going to work on here today is actually a 3-layer border. And we do this through the magic of Fusible. As you know, if you've been watching our videos, you know that we love Steam-A-Seam 2 Fusible. Creates a permanent bond when you put it on properly that can be washed and doesn't need to be sewn down afterwards. It's amazing stuff to work with. And so that's the whole, that's key in this no-sew border technique, the use of Fusible. Now, when I was putting together this demonstration for this class, I thought of having you guys grab fabric and Fusible, but I figured that would be hard for everyone to get their hands on it on short notice. So that's why we are going to be simulating that with our paper templates. And so what I want you to do is we're going to start out with our top layer. And what I want you to do is to cut out the shaded portion on one of these stars. As you can see, I've already got one of these cut out here. I'm going to go ahead and cut another one out here with you. And let me show you how the best way to get that started is to just kind of fold your paper over a little bit and just take a snip in there with your scissors. That gives you a starting place where then you can get your scissor in. Don't cut through the white part. Leave the white part whole. Just cut inside the shaded gray area and begin cutting out that star. Just carefully cut right on the line so that you have a perfect star cut out. If you have your template and you're able to do that, go ahead and get started on that. All right. And while you're doing that, I am going to actually do it on fabric for you guys, okay? So what I've got going here is I've got the same 2 templates. I've actually printed my template out onto the Steam-A-Seam. Makes it super quick and easy to get your pattern transferred to the Steam-A-Seam. A little word of warning here: if you have a laser printer, do not try to put your Steam-A-Seam through the laser printer, because the heat will just ball everything up and make a huge mess. You don't want that. If you have a regular inkjet printer, most printers will let you sneak that Steam-A-Seam through it, and it will print nicely on it. If your paper is loose on the Steam-A-Seam, you want to hit it lightly with the iron first, just to make sure that paper and the fusible are sticking together, so that it doesn't come apart in your printer. So if you don't want to print it, the other process is to just lay your Steam-A-Seam over top of your template, and in most cases you should be able to see right through it, and you can trace the pattern onto your fusible. You can put that up against a window. That makes it easier to see the pattern underneath. Or if you have a light box, that works fine too. Perfect. So as you can see, I've already got one cut out that I cut out yesterday. I'm going to cut another one here today with you. Again, I'm just going to fold that over a little bit, make a snip in it, and start cutting that out. As you can see, I've got the fabric on the back, the pattern is fused to it, and so I'm cutting my fabric in this process. And if you're a fast cutter and you've got that first star cut out, go ahead and jump on the second piece of your template, the mid layer, and pick the same star that you cut out on the top template. So if you cut this bottom left corner out in your top template, go ahead and cut the bottom left corner out in your mid template. Again, you don't cut the white part, just cut the black shaded part out. And when you get those two cut out, just hang on, let me catch up here with you. I'm going to get mine cut out here. Let me see if I can adjust this camera a little bit. You can actually see me cutting this out, if that helps. I could get my big camera running again today. This is a new webinar system that I'm using, and I haven't quite figured out how to make my better camera work on here. So for now, we just have my laptop camera going, but that's going to get us. That's going to work for us. We'll make it happen. Okay. So just like you would on the paper, just cut right along those lines, and cut that star out. We're leaving that outside border whole. You know, we don't want to cut into the star. That's not what we want. We want to keep that portion whole. We're just making a star-shaped window in it. All right. So we're coming along here. I'm a man, so it's hard for me to do two things at the same time. To talk and to cut is a challenge. But bear with me, and I'm going to try to catch up with you here. All right. Cool. I got my top one cut out. I'm going to jump on this little one. Do the same thing. I'm going to cut him out. Make a little snip. Hope you guys are enjoying this. This is going to come together here in a second, and you're going to see how amazingly beautiful and easy this is to do. Got my iron here today, so I'm going to better get it fired up so it'll heat up for me. And I'm going to go ahead and actually put this border together for you guys so you can see how it works. A few more snips here. It's important to have the right kind of scissors. You can get by with a lesser scissor on paper, of course, but when you're cutting the fabric, it's particularly important that you have a pair of scissors with really super sharp points that'll cut right to the tip, because you do a lot of your cutting right with the very tip of your scissors. And so if it doesn't cut to the tip, it's going to give you fits. And that's never fun. All right, I've got mine cut out. I'm going to get back on screen here. There we go. All right, so I've got my mid layer cut out, and as you can see, I'm using this nice bright yellow fabric for my mid layer. Get some of my cutting debris out of the way here. Table's a little shaky, so I apologize for the jumping camera. All right, so here's my top layer. I've got this nice chocolatey brown fabric. It's a batik, has a nice texture and design to it. My mid layer is also a batik. It has a nice kind of color wash effect going on there. And then my bottom layer, I'm just using another brown fabric. Has a slightly different texture than the top layer, but I'm going to use that for my base layer. And so let me show you how this comes together. I put my mid layer over top of my base layer, and as you can see, the brown fabric shows through. And then I can put my top layer. This is kind of hard to line up holding it up in the air like this, but you get the idea here. My top layer goes over the mid layer, and we get this beautiful multi-dimensional star going here. Can you see that? If you've been quilting at all for any period of time, you know how incredibly difficult it would be to piece this together using traditional piecing. Especially with these small, this is just a 4-inch border pattern, so this would be super hard to do if you were doing it traditionally. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. As you can see on the templates, it's got the perimeters of your border marked. This is makes a 4 by 8 inch strip. And just in case you're wondering, like folks are asking, you know, how do you get those long border strips if you've just got these little 4 by 8 templates? And the answer to that is you would leave your focal fabric, the top layer, you would leave that as a solid long strip. and you would take your template, which is only 4x8, and you would cut that out of the fusible and lay that on the back of your border strip before you actually start cutting the template and the fabric out. So that way you would stack these end to end, overlap them just slightly. That helps keep any seam from forming in there. And then you can make these long border strips. So we cover that all in detail in our training. For now, I am going to, let me go ahead. I'm just going to cut this real quick here on my cutting mat. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I will try to get you a view of what I've got going on here on the webcam. And I'm just cutting out my border strip right along the lines here. Now, of course, if we were doing this for an actual border, my focal fabric, my border strip that I was putting this on would be 4.5 inches wide, so we have our seam allowance built into it. I'm not going to have that on this little demonstration, so I'm just going to cut everything at 4 inches. So just to show you what it's going to look like, so there won't be any seam allowance on this piece of our demonstration piece here. But it'll give you a good view of what this all looks like when it comes together. Okay, so I've cut out my 4x8 piece. I'm going to do the same thing with my mid layer. And one more cut here. All right. Okay, I've got that one cut out. Let me get some of this out of my way. I'm going to try to move this over so you can see the ironing board a little bit. Okay, I know that's not the best camera view, but we're trying to work with what we got going here. So I'm going to take my background fabric and I'm going to lay that down right side up. And let me find my mid layer. I'm going to go ahead and peel the fusible off the back. Not the fusible, but the release paper. Peel that off the back. And this is just a demo, so I'm just going to leave. Yeah, I'll just put it right on the edge. How about that? I'm going to put that on there. And of course, that Steam-A-Seam fusible has kind of a little pressure-sensitive adhesive on there, so you can position your cutout piece on there. It's movable, so you can take it back off and reposition it. It's very user-friendly stuff. All right, so we're going to put that into place where we want it. And then we've got our iron set on a high cotton setting. Actually, it's probably a mid cotton setting with steam. It's called Steam-A-Seam for a reason. It likes lots of steam with it. We're going to heat it in 5 to 10 seconds in overlapping areas, so we get the whole thing fused down. Okay, now we're going to take, if I can find my top layer, here it is. We're going to go ahead and peel the fusible off of it. Excuse me, again, we're going to peel the release paper off of it. We want the fusible left on there. Pretty important. And again, we can go ahead and get everything lined up so everything's centered. Of course, if we cut out our template properly, if the edges line up, the center's going to line up. You want to be a little careful when you're peeling off your paper that you're not stretching the fabric or pulling it out of whack, because that'll affect your layers. So again, I'm just going to hit that with some steam and heat. We're going to let that fusible get activated for 5 to 10 seconds. Make sure it fuses together nicely. And then we can flip it over and hit it from the back a little bit too. That really helps to get the heat at it from two sides. Really get that fusible activated and doing its job. Okay, well, that should do what we need here. I get my cords out of the way so I don't trip myself up. Oh, I'm making a mess on my table here. Get some of this out of my way. Got my earphones in the way. Be careful so I don't cut my earphones off. I'm going to go ahead and just trim this back. My background fabric was a large piece here. Yeah, that'll work. And again, if we were doing this on a quilt, our pieces of fabric would be obviously as long as the border strips were. We wouldn't cut our border strips into these little pieces, but for demonstration purposes, that's what we've done. You see what a beautiful border that makes? Let me get the camera put back up here so I can talk to you folks. There we go. Here's what it looks like. We've got a beautiful border in just a few minutes. Something that if you tried to piece that together, that would take hours and hours and hours of effort and very little chance you'd end up making it look that precise and that awesome. Now, you could easily go back and when you're doing your quilting, sew over this and it'll look even more like you pieced that all together like some kind of magician. So I've got another sample here. Let me show you what this would look like if you put that border all the way around one of our accent patterns. You see how awesome that sets that art off? It's very simple to do. No time at all. You're going to get beautiful borders like this. And of course, you can put another border frame around this to set it off. You could just put binding on it right like this. Of course, this is just the top. We don't have our batting, and I haven't done any quilting on it yet, but you guys know how to do that. Isn't that beautiful? Got another sample here I can show you. This one is our giraffe pattern, the Serengeti Dream. Another one of our accent patterns. This is a different border template. I believe this one is called the Twisted Star. And it is also a 3-layer pattern. Try to get you nice and close there where you can see that. Isn't that a nice 3-dimensional effect? All through that same simple process, the no-sew border. Super fun. Oops, hard to keep my earphones in here. They keep taking off on me. let me show you. Before we go any further, let me see if there's any questions coming up here. Linda's asking, do you have to use batik fabric? You don't have to, Linda, but we highly recommend batiks because it brings so much texture and artistic quality into your quilt. There's other reasons we choose batik fabrics. One of the other reasons is because of the way batiks are made. They start out as a super tightly woven, high thread count cotton fabric, and then with the process of making the batiks, all the layering of inks and dyes and waxes and everything that goes into making a batik makes for this super condensed pattern that doesn't fray easily. So it applies really well to this technique. Plus, it brings so much artistic value. You know, if you've looked at batiks, they are works of art in themselves. And when you add that to the art of the pattern, it brings so much texture and movement into your quilt. That's why we recommend batiks. Betty's asking, are the patterns for sale? Yes, Betty, we do sell the patterns on our website. On our website, you'll see all of our basic patterns. I don't know if I have one within reach right here, but these are our, let me show you this where you can see it a little better, okay? So like this is Moose Meadows. This is one of our wall hanging size patterns. It's 18 by 24. And it comes with the pattern for this. And up here in the corner, you can see the accent pattern for Moose Meadows. Both those patterns come packaged together in a set for $12.95. If you're on the workshop with us, we have a special offer on the workshop where you can get some 4 pattern sets that have 4 of our accent patterns this size to make the quilt in the workshop. There's a variety of sets that you can buy, and those are downloadable. You can buy those from the workshop site. We don't have those on our main website. We also provide, you can get these patterns laser cut on our main website, where we actually put these on our laser and cut them out, pre-cut them for you. That makes it super fast and easy. They already have the Steam-A-Seam 2 fusible on the back of them. They're all cut out. You get to choose the fabric, and you can see all that information on our website. So I just want to answer that question. Leon says, what about using these borders on a bed quilt? Will it not be too stiff? That's a great question, Leon. This here is a bed quilt, and yes, they do add a little bit of stiffness, especially at first, but that stiffness softens up with use and with time. They get nice and soft after they break in, and you know, that fusible just kind of starts getting softened up as you use the quilt. So little stiff to get started. You'll notice anytime if you've used fusible, you know it adds a little bit of stiffness, but it does soften up over time. So great question. Thanks, Glenda. Let me see. We've got Gail's asking. I'm not sure if she's asking or if she's answering. Let me see. Liz is asking the question. My templates don't line up like yours did. I line up the top one and the bottom one is too low. So, you know, it depends on how your printer printed it out. You want to make sure when you print these templates out on your printer that it's set to exact size. You'll have to go into your preferences and look to make sure it's not set to fit the page, or it'll try to stretch them or make them smaller. They need to print the exact size. That gives you the exact 4-inch by 8-inch square here, and everything will line up. So hopefully that answers that. Okay. So let me breeze through this real quick to see if there's anything else I need to address here. Got some folks with connection problems, but that happens. Gene's asking where to find the Steam-A-Seam. You want the Steam-A-Seam 2. This made by Warm Company. They have Steam-A-Seam 2 regular and Steam-A-Seam 2 light. You want the regular. That's the heavier fusible. You can use the light, but it's obviously it's lighter. That's why they call it light. It's best if you're doing quilting over top of it or you're sewing over top of it. Then you can get away with the light. Otherwise, especially if you're not going to sew over top of the pattern, you want it to last forever. You want to use that regular. That really provides a good seam. Okay. Perfect. Well, let's move on. I've got some more samples I want to show you here, just to show you some of the possibilities of using these patterns. What's available to you. I'm going to move this laptop back here a little bit carefully. Hopefully I don't pull the cord out of my hand. Let you see this quilt behind me. This is a king size quilt that we made for a recent master class we taught. It has 6 of our small accent patterns on it and 6 of our big, you can't see the bottom ones, it's down too low. 6 of our big wall hanging patterns and the no-sew border. Makes a really good looking quilt. A lot of fun to make. I've got some other samples here. This is one of our wall hanging patterns, just to show you the size of it. This one's vertically oriented. This pattern's called Wild and Free, and it just has a simple, I think it's like a 3-inch border around it, and you quilt it just like you would any other quilt. Here's another style of quilt you can make. This one is actually is offered as a laser cut. We call this the 1820 laser cut because it starts out with a piece of 18 by 20 inch fabric, and it's all cut out in one piece. We cut the border out and the accent pattern. Actually, this is one of our large patterns that's shrunk down for this particular laser cut quilt. But you can see it has that bear paw border on it. Looks really nice. And on this one, instead of using the background fabric underneath it, I used a black fabric for my underlayer on my border. And I think it turned out really nice. Just did some nice crosshatch quilting on it. Really set it off nice. That's just another nice little wall hanging you can make. This one is actually a placemat, and this is our Out of the Forest pattern. And these blocks were made using the foundation block border technique. So we did this in one of our trainings. Walked you step by step through making this placemat, and we just did a nice little stippling quilting on it. I think you can see it there in the camera. Makes for a really fun, quick, and nice placemat to put on your table, on your kitchen bar, whatever you've got. Lost my headset there. Try to get rid of some of these extra danglements. This is just a real quick and simple wall hanging. Be great for putting up in a little girl's room, something you wanted to do for a gift really fast. This little project here is actually done completely with Steam-A-Seam, and I also teach this in one of our training videos. there's no sewing at all on this. This is completely done with fusible. Just makes a quick, nice, fun wall hanging that would make a great gift. And then just one more sample here. This is a pillow, as you can see. Just a simple slip-on pillow cover. Use a standard size pillow insert. This one has one of our accent patterns on it. This is Night Call and has the wolf tracks on the borders. So there's all kinds of possibilities. I just wanted to show you some of what is possible using the Art Quilts Made Easy system. So let me catch up with my notes here and make sure I keep myself on track. So we know what we're doing. Awesome. Perfect. Thanks, guys. Let me see a couple more questions here. Can it be quilted on a long arm machine over the entire quilt? Absolutely. This quilt here, as a matter of fact, I don't know if I can get you close enough to see the quilting. It's always tricky with the cords. Okay, yeah, so you can see some of the quilting there. That's a nice little leaf pattern, and that's just a full side-by-side or side-to-side long arm quilt. We had a friend do that for us. Of course, they can be custom quilted if you have the time to do it. You want to get all into these little things. You can do whatever you want on it. It's just a lot of fun to apply your own creative expression in your quilting. Is it washable or must it be quilted? Yes, Carolyn, the Steam-A-Seam 2 Fusible is washable. We just demonstrated that in one of our trainings because we had a couple of members that were having trouble with it. But if you apply it properly, you want to be careful about, you don't want to use fabric softeners or really harsh detergents that, of course, are going to react with stuff. But we just use a regular laundry detergent and wash them. We don't have any problem with them coming loose. In my test, I tested a bunch of different ways with various amounts of heat and steam put on them. Steam-A-Seam recommends in their instructions to heat the fusible for up to 20 seconds, which is a long time. And we seem to have best results more in the middle range, about 10 seconds or so is how we usually do ours. And of course, if you have thicker layers, you know, it just makes sense to apply a little bit more time and steam to them to get that fusible fully activated. But once it's fast, they stick. Like on our test we did, actually they all did great. Had a couple loose edges on some of them that we didn't steam very long. But then you can go back and steam them down again. And you can actually do this years later. We were just recently down visiting our son and his family in Kansas. And he's got a quilt on his bed that we gave them for their wedding. So this has been, I don't know how many years ago it was, 10 years old or something like that. And the quilt's almost worn out. They've used it so much, it's getting threadbare in places. But of course, it's been washed and washed over and over and over again through the years. And as we were using the quilt, Mary noticed there was a couple of loose edges here and there on it. And so even after all that time, you can throw it on the ironing board, put the heat and steam back to it, and it fuses it right back down again, good as new. So yes, a long way of answering your question, they can be washed. Perfect. Let's see here. Yeah, if you had trouble with the video during the demo, we are trying to get a recording on this, so hopefully we'll have a recording that you guys can watch. We'll try, if possible, we will make that replay available. Deborah is asking, okay, she ordered a set the first time that she watched. Are they going to be mailed? So if you're talking about the workshop patterns that were available on the workshop, depends on what you bought. The initial 4 pattern set on the workshop, those are downloadable. You should download those. And if you didn't get them and you don't have the link anymore, just email me, Deborah, and I'll look up your order and make sure you get that download link. If you ordered any of the bigger patterns, those do get mailed to you. So hopefully that answers your question. If you have any questions that I didn't address here, go ahead and shoot me an email at support@willowbendcreations.com, and I will answer that question for you, help you out. All right. So let's move on. I'm going to get back on the presentation because I want to, I've tried to provide as much value for you guys as possible in this first part of the webinar, do the demonstration, show you how it works. Now I'd like to show you everything that's included in the Art Quilts Made Easy system so that you can see everything that you can do with it. And I think this is going to be real helpful for you guys. So let me switch back to the presentation, and I'll walk you through everything else that is included in the Art Quilts Made Easy system, so you can fully understand what. Okay, it might take a second to switch over to the presentation. Okay. All right, we did the demonstration. I showed you my samples. Okay, so here we are, the Art Quilts Made Easy system. Our whole goal with this, as we have said, is to provide you with all of the patterns, all of the templates, all of the training, and all of the support that you need. When we went about putting this together, we struggled with whether we should make this as just a big complete home study course, a big box full of everything that you need, or should we do this as an ongoing membership program? And we carefully considered that, and we decided in favor of the membership program, because with the home study course, we could have piled everything into this big box and shipped it to you. And you know how it is when you get something like that. It's, it's kind of exciting at first. You got all this stuff, but then it sets in. What do I do with it? And it becomes overwhelming, and that stops a lot of quilters in their tracks, and we absolutely did not want that. So we chose to go the route of a monthly membership program, so we could actually give you guys the training that you need in the order that you need it to help you get started, provide new templates every month, new training every month, so that you could walk through this process with us and get comfortable and familiar with making these quilts. And we feel that that has worked out so much better for everyone. And so I'm going to walk you through what is included in the system. And all quilters are familiar with the term stash. We love our stashes. And again, our whole goal, our whole intention with the Art Quilts Made Easy system is to provide you with huge value at every turn. And so as we walk through what we're doing here, we are going to be building our stash, and we're going to call this our value stash, because this is all the value that you are going to get inside the Art Quilts Made Easy system. So let me walk you through it. First off, we have the system binder, and I'm going to have to jog back and forth between the presentation and the video a little bit because I want to show you some of this stuff. And you should see me coming up here in just a moment. Get this to where the light's not reflecting off it quite so much. This is our Art Quilts Made Easy system binder. we had this put together. It's got beautiful artwork on it, so it's something you'll be proud to display on your bookshelf, in your quilt room, wherever you want it. And this contains, this is where you're going to be able to use as your library for your Art Quilts Made Easy system. Every time you get new templates, you can put those inside here. It's kind of hard to hold up and show you. It comes, I'm going to tell you what comes in the binder to start with here in a minute, but it all comes in these nice little plastic sleeve protectors. It's all indexed. You've got little indexed dividers so you can easily and quickly get to the patterns and templates that you want. That's our system binder. Okay. That system binder, I'm going to tell you the retail values just so you understand what has gone into this thing. We're giving you immense value here. That system binder has a retail value of $30, and so we've added that into our value stash. Next up, we have quilt templates. In the system binder that you get when you order this, you are going to get 22 quilt templates. Now, each of those designs that I've been showing you is one of our quilt templates. We have one for the pillow. We have one for the smaller wall hangings. We got wall hangings all different sizes. We've got the big quilts like the one hanging behind me. We've got king size, queen size. We've got full. We've got twin. We've got baby quilts even. We've tried to make templates so that no matter what you wanted to make, there would be a template for you to give you an easy, quick head start. Those templates have all the fabric requirements on them, so you know how much yardage to buy. It has the cutting layout, so you know how to best cut your pieces out and get all the get the best use out of your fabric. Excuse me, I need a little quick drink here. Talking so much kind of takes it out of you. And then, so you get 22 of those quilt templates with the system. Those have a retail value of $8.95 each. So if you added that up, that's $197 value. That goes into our stash. Next up is the border templates. And these are the no-sew borders, the foundation block borders, and the pieced block borders. 3 different styles. You're going to get a total of 12 templates that are included in that original binder, system binder. And again, they are a retail value of $9.95 each. If you added that up, that'd be $119 retail value. That goes into our value stash. Now, if you're seeing this add up and you're getting nervous, hang with me because we're not going to charge you anywhere near the retail cost of buying these separately. Next up, we have the patterns. We wanted to make sure everyone had at least a sampling of patterns to get started with. We know everybody likes different patterns, so we just chose a random sampling of 10 of our accent patterns to get you started. There's a wide variety of patterns all the way through our series. You know, we have Alaska wildlife, North American wildlife, we have Western, we have fantasy, we have exotic animals, landscapes. I mean, there's just a whole range of patterns, and we picked a variety of those to put into your original system binder. There's 10 of them. We sell those a piece for $4.95. That's another $50 of value going into our value stash. Every month we provide you with a new training video. It was important to us that you guys get the training that you need so you know how to use this system. Again, we didn't want to just give you a big box of stuff and have it be overload for you. So we want to walk you through each piece of the system so you know how to use it. So in like the first 3 or 4 months, we specifically walk you step by step through using the different border techniques and how to do everything. So We take one video and we walk through the piece block border templates, and we show you how to make piece block borders. In the next training video, we show you how to make the foundation block borders, and we show you how to make the no-sew borders, so that you know how to use each portion of the system. Whether or not you choose to use any of those techniques as you go forward, you're probably going to have a favorite. Maybe the no-sew border techniques are your favorite and you use them all the time. Maybe the foundation block borders are your favorites and you use them a lot, but we want you to at least know how to use each of the three styles. And so we walk you through that in a training video. We give you a sample block to make and help you in any way so you understand each of those techniques. So every month there is going to be a new training video delivered in the private member area that you guys will all have access to as a member, should you choose to move forward with us. Next up, every month you also get a pattern voucher. And this is just another example of the huge value that we want to give to you guys to make sure you are getting more than your money's worth every month. We're giving you a pattern voucher that is good towards any of the patterns off our website. So as I said, we sell those every day, all day long, every day for $12.95 each. You're going to get a voucher that cuts that cost down to a penny. We had to leave the penny in there just so that it would still charge shipping and on the shopping cart. So that pattern voucher gets you a free pattern every month. All you have to pay is the shipping to get it to you. That's part of your membership included. So there's another $12.95 in value every month provided to you as a member. That goes into our value stash. We also do Q&A webinars. We try to do these like every other month or so, and that's just a chance to get on with you guys on a webinar. You can ask your questions, we can answer you, we can help you out, clarify some stuff, whatever you need, so you have all the support you need going forward with this. And then community was super important to us. We wanted a place where you guys could get support and help whenever you need it, whether that's at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're out quilting or any time, day or night or weekend. Usually there's somebody around to bounce some ideas off of. And so we set up a private Facebook community. Only our members have access to that, and it's been super fun. There's a great group of quilters in there already, sharing their photos of the projects they're doing, asking questions, getting advice from other quilters. We get in there as much as we can. It's been super fun and helpful to everybody. That all comes included with the system. So let me see here. I got on the wrong screen. Okay, I'm back here. So when you start adding up all of that value that we're providing, that we put into our value stash, the actual retail value of all those components is $431. Huge value. But don't get scared, because we're not going to charge you $431. When we looked at this, we wanted to make it as easy as possible for any of you to get started here. And so we put together a super special deal for you guys. We appreciate you being on here with us. We appreciate you attending the free workshop with us. And so here's the deal. Your price today is free. Does that sound good to you guys? Okay. We wanted to make sure everyone could get started. So here's the deal. When you decide to move forward with us and sign up to be a Art Quilts Made Easy member. Oops, that's not the one I wanted. I'm missing a slide here, but let me tell you about it. Our Art Quilts Made Easy membership is $19.95 a month. So that gets billed on a recurring basis every month for as long as you want to remain a member. Like I said, you get all that stuff every month. You get 12 new border templates every month. You get a new training video every month, and you get the pattern voucher every month. All that you get for $19.95 a month as a member. Again, we're providing huge value to you on an ongoing basis. Patterns, we have folks asking about patterns. There's only those 10 original patterns are included in the binder to get you started. And then, of course, we get that free pattern voucher every month so you can start building your pattern collection. I just want to make it clear, there's not 10 new patterns included every month. The only thing that's included every month are the border templates. You're going to get 12 new ones every month. And the training video, you get a new training video every month. And you will get a new pattern voucher every month. Everything else is in that original binder. It gives you the framework, if you will, to allow you to make whatever kind of quilts you want with an increasing library of beautiful borders that you can make to really make that look great. Your price is free. All you have to pay is your first month's membership of $19.95, and then we just ask that you cover the shipping, what it costs us to actually ship this big system binder to you. I believe the shipping on that is $18.95. Sometimes it costs us more than that, depending on where it's going to. But that is all it takes for you to get started, is the shipping and your $19.95 first month's membership. We're going to give you that system, ship that whole system binder to you for free. So that's our gift to you guys, just for being with us on this webinar. That offer is not going to last forever. It's going to be limited to this workshop. It's probably going to be pulled down here in a couple days. So let me get you the link to get you up to that offer page so you can place your order. This is where you would need to go to place your order. And there's a couple other things on that page. I want you all to click over onto that page here just as soon as this comes up for me. Okay, so you should see that offer on the right-hand side of your screen. You can go ahead and click that button where it says View Offer. You'll still be able to hear me. That's going to open up in a new tab. And so I want you to take a look at that so you can ask me any questions you have while I'm still on here with you. And we've got a couple other options that I wanted to show you. So as you get onto that offer page, I want you to scroll down almost all the way to the bottom, because we have a couple of membership options that I also wanted to tell you about. They may be right for you. So just scroll down almost towards the bottom. You'll see a big blue, there'll be 3 blue columns. It says basic member, annual member, and premium member. And I want to tell you what was included in those should you decide that one of those options works better for you. So, of course, the basic membership we've already covered. You just cover the $18.95 shipping and handling cost, your first month of your membership for $19.95. So your total billing for that first bill is $38.90. And then each month thereafter, as long as you remain a member, you'll be charged the $19.95. What you get, again, you get the system binder, you get the monthly training video, you get 12 new templates every month, you get the $12.94 pattern voucher every month. You get access to the Smart Quilters community, and you get access to the private member area. So you can, and that's one point I didn't bring out. I should point out to you that, so in that private member area, we load up all your templates every month. So all the new templates, every time you get new templates each month, they go into the member area. So you always have a digital backup. as well as the physical version. Each month, we are going to send you in the mail a physical version of those new templates. So you're going to get 12 new templates. They're going to come with their little plastic sleeves, protector sleeves, so you can put them right into your binder notebook and keep everything super organized and safe and convenient for you to work with. But you also have those patterns and templates available to you in the member area in the digital format, so you can, that comes in really handy if you want to print them out onto your Schema like I showed you earlier, or if you need a backup. If you ruin your original copy, your coffee gets spilled on it, the dog eats it, whatever happens, you always have a backup available to you. You can print out a new replacement pattern from the member area. So all the training videos are in that member area as well. So everything's there in a couple different formats for you to take advantage of. So let me tell you about the next option. This is the annual membership. And so should you choose, you can purchase the whole year in advance and save 30% in the process. So that's $167 for the whole entire year. It's the $167 plus the shipping and handling for us to ship the system binder to you. With that, you get everything that you get with the basic membership. Plus, we've added a bonus on there. This quilt that you've been looking at behind me, we taught the whole process step by step for building that exact quilt. Of course, you can use whatever patterns you want to use that suit your taste, but we walked everybody through that. We just had that class not too long ago. It was a 4-part class, took place over 4 weeks, our master class training, and we walked everybody step by step through the entire process of building a king or queen size quilt for your bed. So you get that as a bonus. All the recordings are in a special member area. You can go through that at your own pace, and that's your bonus just for choosing the annual member option. Our third option is a premium membership. And what's different about this is you get everything that you get in the basic and the annual membership, including that bonus masterclass training. But plus, the big deal on this this option is we are going to ship you our entire Continuum pattern collection. Remember those patterns I showed you that we sell for $12.95 each on our website? We have 55 large patterns, and each of those is packaged with 55 unique accent patterns. Now, the large patterns and the accent patterns aren't just big and small. They're totally unique patterns. So you get 110 patterns all together included with your premium membership. Just the patterns themselves at $12.95 each has a very real, this is not a made-up value, this is a very real value of $712. You're going to get all those plus your entire membership, the system binder, everything we've showed you before. The bonus masterclass training also comes with this option. You get all that for just one payment of $397, plus the shipping and handling. Now, we have to ship that to you in 2 boxes. The system binder comes in 1 box. All the patterns come in their own box. So the shipping's a little bit higher on that one, but that actually doesn't even begin to cover our cost of shipping. So we're giving you a cut rate on that as well. I know that's more expensive, but if it's in your budget, that is absolutely the best value of any of these options. You get so much with it. What was I going to say? Something slipped my mind. Okay, yeah. So that gives you your annual membership is included in that price for the first 12 months. That's all included in that $397 price. And then when you go into your next year, should you continue to be a member, you'll be billed 1 year from now for the annual membership at $167 a year until you decide to cancel. So super value included in any of those. It's just a matter of which one's right for you. You guys can take a look at those, look them over, see which one fits you best, fits your budget best. Whichever one you decide to use, we try to give you as much value as possible, over deliver on the value so that you're getting as much bang for your buck as possible. So I'm going to jump back on the questions. And if you have any questions, you should still have a tab open that has the chat on it. And go ahead and enter any questions you have in the chat. I'm going to go back in here now and try to answer some questions. Okay, Linda, question on the cost there on the basic. So the basic membership is $19.95 a month. The system binder, the whole Art Quilts Made Easy system is the free part. That's what we're going to give to you. We're not charging you the $421 retail value that's in that binder. That is yours free when you become a member. All you pay is your first month membership plus the shipping to get that shipped to you. Marcia, can you upgrade your basic membership to the premium? Yeah, that's not a problem, Marcia. Just shoot me an email at support@willowbendcreations.com, and I would be happy to help you out with that. We can make that work. Sharon says it's snowing like crazy here in upstate New York. That's always fun. I actually grew up in upstate New York long time ago. Teresa, I'm sorry you've had trouble with your connection. Like I said, we were trying to get a recording of this, so I will try to make a replay available for you guys that had trouble seeing it. So hang in there. I'll try to get that to you here as quick as possible if everything recorded well. Got lots of wow, cool, good deal. It is. We've tried to provide amazing value for you guys, and we really appreciate it. I'm sorry about the connection issues. It's hit and miss sometimes on the webinars on both ends. You know, I think because a lot of people are seeing this okay, it's not on my end, so it's probably an internet connection issue on your end. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about that other than we'll try to get that replay to you so you can see everything. Sharon is asking, is the training video on disc? No, it is delivered in the member area. You'll be able to watch the video from the member area. We are working on putting all those trainings on DVDs. So if you want to, those will be available at a later date to purchase. We'll try to make those at an affordable price for those who want the training videos on DVD. You'll see that coming up. We'll let everybody know in the member area and through email when those are available. That shouldn't be too long. We've been working on that, so we'll be getting those available on DVD as well. But it doesn't come with your membership. We've tried to keep your cost down and our cost down as much as possible to make it affordable for everyone. If you want those extras, they will be available, but again, you will have to purchase the DVDs if you want those. Carolyn is one of our members. She says, I love my system. I can interchange the patterns and borders, making some cool quilts. So thanks for that, Carolyn. It's awesome to get your perspective in there. Let's see. Again, I'm sorry for the connection issues some of you are having. We should be able to get you everything on the replay so you can see it all. All right. Deborah, you'll need to, if you're still on here, you need to shoot me an email at support@willowbendcreations.com so I can get your email address and look up your order and know exactly what you need. And I'll certainly help you out, get those download links. Pam's asking how to make the patterns larger. If you need to make, so first of all, let me say that we've sized all these patterns to work within the system. So all of our templates and everything are geared towards the size that the patterns are, either the 18 by 24 or the 8.5 by 11 format. So if you want to do something different than that, it is possible to enlarge those patterns. You'll have to put them on a copier and get them enlarged if that's what you want. It is doable, a little extra effort, but if your creative genius leads in that direction, you can certainly do that. Again, Loma, we're going to try to get a replay up for this so you'll be able to see the demo. I think I answered everything below that. Let me go back up to the top and see what new questions are coming in. Teresa, we just work out of our home. We don't have an actual shop. So, yeah, the best thing to do is to order it online. The shipping's not that much, and we'll get it to you quickly. Plus, all of our systems ship from a warehouse that is located in Illinois. That's where we do our fulfillment from. So the only way to get it is to place the order. Thanks, Liz. I'm glad you enjoyed that. That's awesome. Pam, if you didn't see the binder, go to that offer page, and there's a picture of the binder on there. It'll show you everything that's included in that binder and in the system. Laura's asking, signed up for the annual membership. One of the members' vouchers expired in December 31st. Yes. So like I said, we do a new member voucher every month. I haven't had a chance to pull that old voucher out of the member area yet. So yeah, that one, the old one expired the 31st. The current one expires on January 31st. And we try to put the new vouchers in there on about the 15th of every month. That way, and they have a 45-day expiration date. So that way you can save up 2 of them and order 2 patterns at once before they expire and save a little bit on the shipping costs. So hopefully that'll help you out. Awesome. Looking for some more questions here. Teresa is asking, how do I get to the member site after I log out and want to return? You should have that that link to the member area in an email that you get sent. If you can't locate that, just shoot me an email, and I will make sure you get that, Teresa. Again, my email is support@willowbendcreations.com. And the best thing to do is when you get to that membership site is to just bookmark that so you can always get back to it from your favorites, from your bookmarks. Betty's joined. She's in with us. Welcome, Betty. Congratulations. I know you're going to have a lot of fun. Thanks, Carolyn. Deborah, I will look for your email and try to get you, I'll get you all set up on logging in. If you don't hear from me, be sure to email me again. Sometimes things don't come through for some reason, but I'll definitely help you out. Doreen's asking if they can see the patterns that are actually included in the package. I don't have those at my fingertips right now, but basically there's, I think we have 6 series, and so there's 10 patterns. So there's at least a couple, tried to do a couple from each series, and then a couple of the series, obviously there's only one from that series, come up with the 10 patterns. But it's just an assortment to get you started. And then with your free vouchers, you can get whichever patterns appeal most to you. But we wanted to give you a sampling, give you an idea of what's available, and then you can go from there. All right. Let me see. Tammy's asking, haven't received a voucher for December. Are you still mailing them? Yes, we are, Tammy. It's also in the member area. If you go right at the top, log into your member area, right at the top, you'll see the new voucher for December. We were a little slow getting that out with the holidays, but those are on their way to you, the December templates and the voucher. So that'll be showing up soon, hopefully. Virginia, if you're already a member, you're good to go. You don't have to start up again. You should be good. If you're not receiving your templates every month, please send me an email and I'll make sure you're on the correct list. But you should still be getting your templates and the new templates in the member area. So let me know if that's not the case, and we'll get you fixed up. Linda, you were placing your order, tried to order the extra accent templates and got bumped out of there. Okay, so just send me an email, Linda. I will just send me an email at support@willowbendcreations.com. Let me know that you want to add those extra accent templates to the order, and I can add those to your order for you. Not a problem. Tammy's asking about making the large patterns bigger. That would be difficult, Tammy, because very few printers have the capability of printing anything that big. Maybe some specialty shop would have a large format printer, and they might be able to do it for you. You can also experiment with, because they're 18 by 24, you'd still need to be able to scan them into your system somehow, and then put them together in pieces to make them bigger. So it'd be difficult. You'd have to play with it, Tammy. I don't have an easy answer for that. Anything's doable if you want to work hard enough at it. You could probably figure out a way to do it. But that would be fun. It would be cool to have a great big huge pattern in the middle of a quilt. I haven't quite figured out how to do that yet to provide that on a commercial scale for everyone. So you'll have to try to figure that out on your own if that's what you want. But good luck with that. I think it'd be awesome. Tell you the truth, I think it would look great. It's not something that hasn't crossed my mind. I think it'd be pretty cool. All right, thanks, guys. I think I have answered most of your questions. all the ones I can find. So I am going to go ahead. Oh, before we sign off, I did promise you I was going to get you the bonus links to the video workshop training. Now, let me tell you, if you order the system, those video workshops are already in the member area, so you can watch those as a member anytime you want. If you haven't ordered the system and you want that special gift that we said we were going to give you, you should be able to see this on your screen now. And I will send you guys all an email with these links in it as well. This is the bonus member area where we're going to put those free workshop videos for you in this. They are already in this bonus bonus membership area. You have to use this login. Let me get the link up for you. I think I have that here on a, I can't seem to find that. I'm going to send that to you in an email right after I get off the webinar here. We'll get you the bonus link, and that'll all be in the email. It has your login information. I appreciate you guys hanging with us till the end. Check your email here in a little while. I'll try to get that out in the next hour or so. And if we can get a replay available for you guys, I will get you that as well. So thank you guys so much for sharing this time with me. I've really enjoyed being with you here on this webinar. If you have any questions that I haven't answered, feel free to send me an email. Again, that address is support@willowbendcreations.com, and I will answer your email as soon as I can get to it. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks so much, and you guys take care. We'll talk to you again real soon.